took it over to the pottery shed. At the pottery shed, these women that work with us, they sort through everything. They make big piles of pottery, but bones and charcoal, and the bones get sent up to a lab in Haifa. We can analyze them. The charcoal as well. Shells, I'm not sure what actually happens to the shells. That's an interesting question I'll have to ask. Mostly what they do is focus in on the pottery. You can learn a lot about pottery just by looking at it. Here we have two different pieces of pottery. What's the major difference? Color. Okay? Look at the dirt under your feet. Now look back at this piece. Okay? This stuff is locally made pottery, made from the earth right under your feet. Anything, though, that we find that's this orange color, and I don't know if you guys found any, you did, in your little drinking bowl, okay? Orange, this kind of clay that makes this orange color is not found anywhere in the land of Israel. The closest place that we have this kind of composition of clay is in Cyprus. We're talking off the coast of the Mediterranean by Greece. What does that tell you right there? What can you learn about the pottery?
Doing a lot of traveling.
They're trading, they're traveling, they're having commerce with people who live quite a distance from them. So right there, that sort of gives a little bit of framing to the size of their world. I tend to think of people in antiquity living these very small, limited lives, but that blows it right out of the water right there. Additionally, sometimes, if you find a piece of pottery and it has writing on it, that's something called an ostrakon. And here, in our site, with different groups, we found 5 such pieces when we washed them off at the pottery shed, and we found that they fit together like a puzzle. Okay? We have a document here. It's Hebrew letters, Hebrew alphabet, but the writing is actually in Aramaic. And most important documents were written in Aramaic at this time.